All right, everybody. This week we got round two of the season at Japan, a track I personally like a lot. I love tracks with that balance of having places to overtake, but at the same time not just being a slipstream fest. So let's get into it. I forgot to point out, I did show the livery before, but I did not point out that this is the TFR livery. Ooh, very fancy, right? All right, let's get into the first lap here. Well, I guess the lap. Down the straight, hold R2, very important. Coming into the first set of corners, very difficult to get the timing of your turning down, but if you put your practice in, it's a relatively straightforward corner where you brake just a touch before the red, allow the car to be as straight as possible without going off into the green there to help maximize your braking power, and then take a late apex and onto the S section. It's very easy once you get your braking and turn in timing right. And then the car just does the work for you in the corner like this. All right, going into the S section. Smooth is fast here. If you try to gain time in one corner, you're going to lose it in the next corner. So it's all about maintaining grip at all times, because anytime you're sliding, you can't turn and position the car for the next corner. So into the first corner here, just the lightest leave off. Touch of the brakes through this corner. No touch of the brakes. Well, on race fuel, I would say touch of the brakes. Low fuel, just leave off and cut the car back in early. It's going to want to wash to the outside. All the time you want to be avoiding these inside curbs. They can be treacherous. Medium braking here. Again, you want to find that nice speed through the corner. You want to find that perfect speed that you can put on full steering lock, and then the car just naturally holds its line on the track. Finding that nice sweet spot of speed is the key to this part of the S section. And then heading here, I like the turn in early. There's more grip here, and the car is already loaded when I hit the bumps on the track, which makes it slide out less. Just maybe the lightest let off for a fraction there, but holding the throttle for most of that. All right, on race fuel, you're going to have to touch the brake here, but if you're on low fuel, just a leave off, chuck it up over the curb. Obviously, you don't want to get a penalty, but a lot of time can be gained here. And here, brake a touch before the red. The red curb on the inside is alright, but you want to avoid the green because that really, it doesn't unsettle the car, but it will make you understeer because you want to take advantage of the camber of the corner. Ride the whole curb on the exit. It's so much easier. A lot of people think that maybe, oh, taking these esports lines might be harder. Actually, they're easier because all four tires are on flat ground, so the grip is good. Unlike when people kind of take a little bit of curb and then they spin out, then that kind of intimidates them to take more curb. But when in reality, if you're mounted over the curb, then the grip is fine. Heading into this corner, the key here is not to brake too late, and obviously you want to brake as late as possible, but on the exit you don't really need to take the best line on the exit. You just got to make sure you're getting to the throttle as quick as possible, so prioritize straightening out the car on the exit. Hold R2 down this straight, very important. And here for spoon section, two corners that are pretty tricky. I think I mess up on one of these corners. I think it's this first left here. I don't quite hit the apex, but yeah, you don't want to take too much curb because it can spin the car around. Pretty much brake right on the red. You can carry a lot of speed through the first corner of spoon. Yeah, I did miss the apex there. You guys didn't see that. Mount the curb on the exit. Brake pretty much right when the game recommends, but a slight hesitation on your turn in. Where the inside curb changes, so it's not just a red, but also has the gray. Picture a line there. That's kind of where you want to apex the corner. So it's not a late apex, but it's not It's just slightly late. So like slightly hesitate your turn into the corner compared to what the game recommends, but not too much. Hug the inside, make the track as short as possible. Same thing here at 130R. Hug the inside, make the track as short as possible. It does not scrub off speed. And last and not least, the chicane, where certain famous wrecks have happened. This is pretty easy. Pretty much brake right on red, take curb on the first and second corner. You just want to make sure that when you take curb, you don't hit it too hard that it unsettles the car and unloads the grip. So as much curb as possible while also maintaining grip. Take as much curb as possible, obviously without avoiding, yeah, while avoiding penalties. Taking as much curb as possible helps you make the corners straighter, basically, which is faster. Hug the inside on the exit again, making the track as short as possible and nice and simple. That's a lap in Japan. I say nice and simple, but this is one of those tracks that it's just about not overstepping the boundaries, trying to be a hero, going for those tenths. It's all about just being consistent, being smooth, getting those reps in that you're comfortable with the timing of the corners, and just focusing and executing. You know, none of these corners are particularly difficult. It's very easy to make mistakes on them that will lose you not just a tenth or two on that corner, but a tenth or two on the next corner automatically because you got no time to recover. So that's kind of the danger of this track. When you mess up, it's not just, oh, I lost a tenth on this corner. It's, you lost a tenth on this corner, you're going to lose at least 2 tenths on the next corner as well. So it kind of compounds. So this race is going to be a lot about not making mistakes, which zero people did in the season finale last season, where Ewan won the championship in his absence. By him not showing up for the race, he was the only person to not make a mistake in the race. Yeah, it was a wild one, and I anticipate the same thing to happen again. Every time TFR comes to Japan, it's nuts. I know I said that about Australia, it didn't end up being too nuts. Maybe this season, we're turning a new leaf. Everyone is well behaved and well controlled, but we'll see. If we can make it through Japan without more than one safety car, then I feel like that sets a very tame tone through the season. So if anything's going to go down, I expect it to happen here. The strategy, again, like in Australia, it's a pretty straightforward strategy, but all of that can change with well-timed safety cars. So you got to think on your feet in terms of the strategy, but on the track, you just got to realize smooth is fast and be patient. But we'll see who's practiced coming here. A lot of people are making mistakes in Australia, a lot of surprises. We'll see if it happens here too.